Hey guys, I know this is a little bit different, but I wanted to just quickly get my thoughts out on the Wandavision series as a whole. I originally thought I was going to do an episode 9 review, but this video will talk about that and basically talk about the rest of the season as well, and then I'll say some other stuff. So basically, in episode 9, we get straight into it. Wanda versus Agnes. We find out that Agnes is actually reading from the Darkhold, so it seems like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is officially no longer canon because that book doesn't look the same, unless of course it's a retcon, but that's something else entirely, which I doubt. There were basically a few things that I felt needed to happen because they built up our expectations in sort of a way. And yeah, there were a bunch of fan expectations as well with the whole Mephisto thing, but when you're doing a storyline like this that heavily involves Mephisto in the comics, and you don't introduce him in the series, it's kind of like a slap in the face. And then, like, also talking about being slapped in the face, this show is supposed to tie in with Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, and we know that Spider-Man 3 is going to be doing that. And it's not like people are stupid. Like, Marvel got everybody on a hype train of 22 movies and accomplished something that no other studio had achieved in 10 years, which was the amalgamation of all of these movies coming together in Endgame and Infinity War. But they don't have the balls to say, oh, this guy's from the multiverse. So yeah, I'm talking about Ralph frickin' Boner. Really? There were so many other interesting ways you could have done that, but they're just like, nah, it's a dude named Ralph Boner. Has nothing to do with the X-Men or the multiverse, even though we promised that this show was going to be connected into Doctor Strange 2. And sure, the post-credit scene kind of teases that, but like there needs to be like more connective tissue here. And unfortunately, episode 7, I keep hearing people, or not episode 7, episode 9, I keep hearing people say that it was a good ending, but they didn't stick the landing. And yeah, I'm gonna have to agree, because you have a certain amount of expectations that you set, and then you're just like, yeah, no, none of this stuff is true. So you had the big cameo that Paul Bettany teased, which apparently was himself. Yeah, no, not good enough. I'm sorry. You don't tease something like, oh, it's myself. Yeah, no, that sucked. Even though White Vision is cool, I just don't like how they set up that twist with the interview. And like, really, there were so many things that played into our expectations. And really, for the people that are like, oh, it's your fault that you got yourself hyped up on Mephisto, and I'm like, well, yes, I can understand that. I think that's the problem with many Star Wars fans nowadays, is that they will hype themselves up and have their own theories. And I think that the Star Wars community on YouTube that plays into the theory fan base is a big part of that. But it's not like there isn't source material that WandaVision isn't based off of. Star Wars is something, it's completely original, or at least it's supposed to be, whereas WandaVision is clearly based off of a couple Marvel comic book storylines. And to see all of it just be like, yeah, no, we're not doing that, even though we've teased it in the show, the devil's in the details, and we see all this all these Easter eggs and whatnot, like unleash hell, demon spawn is what Quicksilver said, and the Darkhold, and all this stuff. It really just kind of I mean, there were some really cool moments in the show, like the runes with Wanda. I thought that was cool. I think emotionally, it satisfied that ending. I think it did a great job at fleshing out Wanda, and like this show really makes me see Wanda in a whole new light, and if like 100% achieved there. I feel bad for Wanda, and I don't want to see her go down a dark path, but unfortunately, I think that's where we're headed, but that creates a compelling villain. But we've also got a bunch of other stuff where apparently White Vision just took off when he regains his memories. You would think he would go and try to help Wanda and be there for her when she closes down this whole new reality, so stuff wouldn't be all that bad for her, but no, he just takes off. And then Darcy pretty much has like a 2-second cameo in the final episode. I do think the scroll stuff post-credit scene is going to be interesting. We know they're setting up Secret Invasion in Captain Marvel 2, and I do think so far Monica is written better than Captain Marvel, so I think that'll be interesting, especially if she does have beef with her hero. But I don't know. The post-credit scene was cool. It kind of reminded me of Incredible Hulk when you see him in the cabin out in the mountains and he's learning how to control his powers, and Wanda's kind of doing the same thing, but the twist is her kids are in danger and she's reading the Darkhold. So stuff can't really end well there, but we do know that Wanda is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, which is Doctor Strange. So whether or not Doctor Strange and her are going to be teaming up in and Doctor Strange 2, whether or not that's going to happen will be interesting, but I really just, I don't know. Originally I was going to give this episode like a 7, but I think it might be a little too generous. I think I'm going to go 6.5. The rest of the season was really good. The stuff that they did with the sitcoms, everything they did with Wanda's backstory and making us simultaneously scared of her and feel bad for her at the same time, that is all great, and I love that. And overall, I think the series as a whole, I think it would probably be like an 8.5, but the ending leaves a whole lot to be desired. So yeah, that's my stance on WandaVision. It could have been something really cool had they stuck to their guns with Quicksilver and Mephisto. Maybe they'll do Mephisto and Doctor Strange 2, but I doubt that. And I really hope that when they do Doctor Strange 2, when they're toying with the multiverse, I hope they don't just pull universes that we haven't seen before. I hope we actually see some stuff that we've seen in the legacy movies of Marvel, like the older Fantastic Four movies, the X-Men movies, Fox's Daredevil, stuff like that. That's what I want to see, and they really shouldn't. They have no reason not to do that. They own the rights to those movies, and they're even. It sounds like they're pulling in these characters for the other Spider-Man for Spider-Man 3. So I don't know. I'm a little upset at this finale. I'm sorry it took so long to get a review out, but it's not like anybody's watching this anyway. This is really just a creative outlet for me, and unfortunately, procrastination has gotten the better of me. So yeah, that's my thoughts on WandaVision. I'll probably be doing a video talking about just a year later since coronavirus. I'll probably talk about that because March 20th for me is really when this whole thing started, at least for me personally. It's when I got pulled out of school, so I'll probably do a video talking about that, and I'll just be telling the truth of stuff that happened in my life, and I'm just going to be honest and talk about how I feel, even though that's not going to be that interesting for some. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know. I'll talk about it in my next video, I guess.